In advance of doing a pretty sophisticated CorelDRAW 10 and 11 print merge, which brings in variable data into multiple tags on one sheet of material, we're going to explain how to create an imposition layout. Very few CorelDRAW owners use this, but this is an extremely powerful tool and one that's not duplicated in any other program of which I'm aware. So we have a layout. It doesn't this is what we're going to work with in just a moment, but it doesn't particularly matter what layout we have to do what we're going to do. But we're going to click on Print and select the output device where we want to go. Let's say a laser engraver. And that laser engraver is previously set up so that the page size is the size of the laser table. And then we're going to go to Print Preview. And in Print Preview, we're going to go to the Imposition tool. While in the Imposition tool, we go to the What to Edit pull down and tell it that we'd like to edit the margins. Now that we're there, we tell it we want equal margins, which I'm not sure why, but that puts that in the upper left-hand corner. The only reliable way within CorelDRAW to put something perfectly in the upper left-hand corner based on its corners as opposed to based on the data inside it. So we'll place that up in the upper left-hand corner. And now we want to save that. So we'll click on the plus sign, and we'll call that something like 1 by 1 upper left, and OK that. Now in this case it says it already exists. Do you want to update it? I'm going to tell it yes, because I always have a 1 by 1 upper left. Now this is an extremely important concept, because from now on that will be there and available to us. I'm going to cancel out of the Print Preview now, and I'm going to call your attention that under Layout, here's our Imposition Layouts. We have a number of layouts. How about a 4 by 4, 16 up for sublimation people? That's extremely useful. But for lasering, and so this comes with numerous different combinations of arrangements where we can bring in variable data and print it out all on one sheet. But for a laser engraver, we always want to start in the upper left-hand corner, so we have a layout called 1 by 1 upper left. So regardless of what the size of the plate is, if we're going to laser engrave, if we're just going to engrave one, we can create the plate the same size as it's going to engrave, use all of CorelDRAW's page centering tools, and then when we go to print it, instead of moving it into the upper left-hand corner of a rectangle that represents our table, all we have to do is go over to 1 by 1 upper left, and it slams it up in that corner. In addition to that, we can start with this and then go to Edit and tell it that we have however many we want. But this little icon allows us to see it just in rectangles or what's really going to be in it. But notice now that if we have a 6-inch by 4-inch piece of material, or let's say a 6 by 6, we could put 6 parts in. So now we've got 12 name tags. Now at this very moment, all of these name tags say the same thing, which sometimes is very valuable. For instance, paperweights and so forth, where you want all of the information the same thing. Likewise with trophy plates. But what we're really doing here is, now that we have created our 1 by 1 upper left, then we can cancel out of this and get to work on our real project. In one project, we completed this order by manually positioning it on a 4 by 6 plate. In another project, we did print merge in its simplest form, that is, one set of variables per page. Here, in this project, we're going to try to combine the two of those. We're going to do a print merge, and we're going to do these dozen name tags, but we're going to use CorelDRAW 10 and 11's newer print merge to be able to put as many name tags as we want on one page and have CorelDRAW fill in the variable data. So in this case, we've added an agent number to the project we did before, which will just allow us to illustrate also the newer print merge feature of incremental data. So let's create a print merge file. File, print merge, create from scratch, and we have it set for create to scratch. We'll go to next, and we'll put in name, title, and serial number. But with the serial number, we'd like for that to be incremental data. And some of what I'm doing here I don't completely understand. It's just the way I've figured out to make it work. So to begin with, I want the first of these agents to be numbered 3001. I can't figure out how to make auto increment work. And I want it to end at 3013, which also seems to be a mistake, but that's the way I get it to work. Put one number more than you really want, and it'll do what we need. Then I'm going to click on next. Notice it has supplied the incremental data there, 3.1 through 3.12 for our 12 agents, and at that point we'll begin keying in the names. Now that we have completed our data entry, we can click on next, and then we'll tell it where we want to save this. And let's call this PM3, print merge file 3. We'll save that just in case we mess something up. Notice we did save incremental data along with that. We'll click on finish. That'll throw the print merge print bar or toolbar out on the screen, and we're ready to start positioning our data field. So let's click on Rob Klein, triple click on it. That'll select everything and tell it we want to replace that with the name data. Now we'll select the title and tell it that we'd like to replace that title and do the replacement, or insert the print merge field. Lastly, we'll select the agent and put the serial number in there and tell it to insert that over what is selected. Reminding you that it's somewhat important. CorelDRAW sometimes gets messed up if you do the next step with one of these selected. It's very natural to have those selected, but we need to unselect those before we do the final step, and that is perform the print merge. We'll select a laser engraver, for instance, which already has the page size set up to the size of the table. And we'll go to Layout and maybe select a layout that we have previously created. That puts that in the upper left hand corner. And then we'll go to the print preview here and Imposition Layout tool and tell it we want 2 of those across and 3 up and down. Now we'll tell it we'd like to look at that. No, we wanted 6 up and down. And we'll go to our zoom tool and take a look at what we have. So there you see all of our variable information keyed in and ready to go. I have had problems printing from here. We should be able to print from right here, but a little bit of a bug that seems to be in the program. If I print from the print preview screen, I'll have Rob Klein here and I'll have Rob Klein here also. Only way I know of to get around that little issue is to not print from the print preview screen. But as soon as we cancel out of this, you'll see that our 6 parts are back here, and now we're ready to apply. Not completely necessary, but just go ahead and print as a typical way to finish this up.